Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. Uh, but you already know that, don't you? Because that's why you've tuned in. Let me just get my headphones on. Oh, they're already on my head.
Ah.
uh, Today, I'm joined by John. But before I let John speak, just want to say thank you to everybody who joined the members area. It's the button below near the likes button that says join. If you don't want to join the button, it's okay, but there's an extra 10 videos per month on that. And we put that money into production, and we put one or two videos out a month that we have a proper production company do the two videos. The helmets is one, and we try and get another one in this month. We're going to do something with Crawford Ashley, I think, and his son. So, because we've got a few more members than last month. So, I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for joining. Boom, boom. Over to you, John. How are you doing?
Very well, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. Well, where do we start, really?
What a fight, though. What a fight.
What did you think about the performance from William Joseph Saunders?
I think he did well. Um, I think he did well boxed. But you could just tell Canelo just had that raw strength, just had no respect of his power.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he did best. He did better than Callum Smith anyway.
Yeah.
You know, his movement, his timing. I thought he started a little bit slow, but Canelo was going to catch him in the latter part of the rounds anyway. That was the
Yeah.
plan. But he did well. Best so far anyway. It's just, yeah, that punch was just. But it still, even when he got hit with that punch, it still didn't go down. But
Uh,
you knew something was wrong.
yeah. Callum Smith's the only one to go the distance with him, from Britain.
Yeah, but Callum Smith didn't do anything.
He was
He
injured, though,
did
wasn't
nothing. Yeah, yeah. Well, messed both arms up. Um, Billy Joe Saunders just went in there and just he um yeah he boxed, but Callum Smith just very stationary.
he? Okay. I've got a bombshell to drop later on in this video, but I'm not going to drop it just yet. Uh, what do you think about the camp leading up to it? Do you feel that Billy gave himself, a matchroom gave Billy every opportunity to win the fight, or do you think that there were too much politics going on behind the scenes, John?
Absolutely, you could tell there was a lot of politics. You could tell Eddie Hearn was leaning towards Canelo. He had no faith in Billy Joe doing anything. Um, it was just obvious. You could see it was transparent. It was you could see through it.
Yeah.
Um, and that's Eddie Hearn. So I'm not surprised.
Okay.
He's just another version of Don King. Always constantly smiling, and they will sell you anything.
All right. Okay. What do you think about the statement come out today by BT Sport saying that Billy Joe Saunders' statement saying that Ben Davidson is the one that pulled him out of the fight? He told the corner to pull him out. What do you think to that?
It's hard to know what to believe.
Mm, yeah.
Um, don't know if it's Tibbs, Ben Davis. It's hard to, but you could tell he was in serious distress when he got hit with that punch. Straight away, body language just changed. I knew something happened, and yeah, he was in serious distress. So when he was going back, you could just tell he was deflated. Nothing. He's not getting up. He's not going for the. He's not going to get up for the next round. He was just completely deflated.
Will he ever fight again?
Good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Boxing is mental,
Mm,
and yeah, getting knocked out, ain't knocked down yet. But with this, eye socket broken. Look at Frank Bruno. It plays with your mind.
What do you think about Billy Joe Saunders' so-called team strutting about doing selfies all weekend? All fight weekend.
Yeah, I don't think the distraction helped. You know, yeah, distraction didn't help. I think you look at Mayweather when he's preparing for a fight, or his team, everybody's in that mood, in that mode, that killer mode. No distraction. Everyone's just ready to go to a war. You know, Tyson Fury might get away with it, but he's an elite fighter. Not many could get away with it. You know, yeah.
Peter Fury sorry, go on.
And you know what? He might have been overwhelmed by the whole 70,000. That's a lot to take on.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take on.
Okay. Peter Fury, Gareth Anal Davis, Dominic Ingle, Dave Caldwell, Frank Smith, Eddie Hearn, Carl Froch, Mark Tibbs, Spencer Fearon, all said that his corner did the right thing to pull him out, but that Billy didn't quit. Now, did we hear Billy Joe Saunders protest in the corner to carry on? Yes or no?
To be honest with you, I agree with them actually. I think it was right to pull him out. I don't think he quit. You want your fighter to have another day, right? He's got a family to go to.
Yeah.
When you start breaking it down in that aspect, then you know it's nothing about quitting. It's about having another day to fight if he wants to carry on. Because this is gonna be a breaking point whether he's gonna come back into boxing, because he's gonna take a long layoff and he's gonna analyze and think about things, because eye socket being broken is completely different.
Yeah, nobody's saying he can't fight, but a lot of things were said when Daniel Dubois had his injury. A lot of things were said, and a lot of people were unhappy with what Billy said. Now, whether he's doing it to be the pantomime villain or not, I don't know. But after all that talk, you would have thought that Billy would have carried on for at least for one more round, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, you know what? The reality is, what happened to Billy will humble him as a human. I'm telling you, he'll be a changed man. He'll be a changed man. It will humble him.
It's been said on social media last night, yesterday afternoon, and this morning that Billy Joe Saunders will play the victim. He will disappear for a few weeks, play the victim, and come back a different man. He will go from being hated to loved, a little bit similar to Tyson Fury when he beat Vladimir. He was hated, now he's loved. Do you think that Billy will go the same route?
Do you know what? I'm not even sure if Billy will come back, you know. I think he's going to take a long layoff. I'm not sure he's going to come back, because a broken eye socket in 3 places, it's a big thing.
Okay. There's silence at the moment from Matthew Macklin, Tyson Fury, Tony Bellew, Spencer Oliver, Darren Barker, Ben Davison, Michelle Joy Phelps, Umar, IFL Umar, Johnny Nelson, Tom Little. They all had plenty to say when Daniel Dubois had his problems. All of them had plenty to say, but now we can't get a peek out of these people. Do you know why that is?
God knows why. But yeah, you're right. I get what you're saying. It's fine when Danny, everyone was running their mouth and saying all kind of things when Danny Dubois had his thing. But now everyone's just quiet, because they know if something is said, there's going to be heat on them. Well, and that's the reason why.
Yeah. If Mark Tibbs didn't stop the fight, who did stop it? Did Billy stop it? Did Ben Davison stop it? All 3 men are currently in the dock on social media. Who do you believe is the guilty one?
I got a feeling Tibbs.
You think Mark Tibbs stopped it?
Yeah. It looked at him. The thing is, you know your fighter. You know body language. You know something is not right. When your fighter gets hit with a thing, you just know something is not right. You train with them. You spend a lot of time with them. So you know he's not right. Even when he's walking back to the corner, I could just see that something is not right. Something has happened that it's not right. So I think Mike Tibbs most probably looked at him and said, "Nah, he's not going to the next round."
Now the seconds out video has been took down. The Mark Tibbs interview with Radio Raheem, but luckily Ultratech Boxing, he has the video up on his channel. If you forward it on Ultratech Boxing's video, go to 21 minutes. You'll see the Mark Tibbs interview. Mark Tibbs said Billy came back, complained about his eye, he couldn't see, and he didn't like the response from Billy, so he stopped the fight. And then he sort of stopped answering questions on the situation, probably because camera's there and that. But they've now seconds out have now took that video down. This is the second time that they've took a Mark Tibbs video down. They took the one down that he did regarding Dylan White, because Dylan White rung up from Portugal to Cougar and he was complaining. So that video was took down. Is that controlling the narrative? Is that good for fans?
That's the problem. No, it's not good for fans. People want to see what happened. And okay, I know he didn't want to elaborate on what happened and what went on, but to take it down, what's that about? Boxing is just becoming a joke.
It's not the first time this has happened. We all know about the Carl Froch interview with Coogan, where Carl didn't know he were being recorded, and he said he said that Joshua had not shown him anything since getting stopped by a fat Mexican, meaning after the Saudi fight, Joshua fought on back foot. He looked gun shy. Now Carl Froch didn't know that were being recorded. Now
I remember that.
To be fair, they wanted Cougar offered to take it down, but it's already done 100,000 views.
He's already done, everybody knew, and Joshua's already seen it back then.
Carl Froch's then took off the Derek Chisora Usyk pay-per-view pundit job. He's then took off that. Cougar Cassius took the Mickey Theo videos down once John Fury decided he didn't want to fight him. He was told to take them down, or you can't have access to Tyson and blah, blah, blah. Is IFL being controlled by certain people in the industry?
Absolutely. Coogan is just the front of it. He's just a puppet. He's just the front of it. There's people that are controlling and tell him what to do. And he wouldn't even question them. He wouldn't even challenge them. He would just take it down. But is boxing becoming a joke? Well, these real men, it just makes you think, are these real men? I mean, the days of, in the 70s and 60s, none of this nonsense happened.
Way I look at it is like this. There's Mini Coopers and there's hula hoopers. You know what I mean? And it's sad to see. Did Billy Joe Saunders on the night look a lot slower than what he normally does?
Yes, but you got to remember, he's going against, pound for pound, one of the best fighters ever. Strategy. You know what? I thought he did well. It started very slow, but it looked a bit. Yeah, it started very slow. I say it started very slow, but he was adjusting as the fight was going on. He was adjusting, but it was showboating, and that's where the problem started.
I can see that.
I felt that he didn't frustrate Canelo enough. You can't beat Canelo with strength. Frustration. When you look at the fight, like when you compare a fight like Agla and Duran, I think it was the second fight. Duran and Sugar Ray knew. Sorry, Sugar Ray and Duran. Sugar Ray knew strength for strength. I can't beat this guy. Frustration. I need to frustrate him. And I think that's the only thing I felt that Saunders didn't do enough. It just didn't frustrate him enough, and Canelo was just trying to walk through him. But he was boxing, his feet, his movement, his angles. It was missing a lot, but it was, he did okay.
All right. Will Bricktop take Billy Joe Saunders back? Because on social media from Queensbury and Frank Warren and that, they're wishing Billy all the best, this and that, blah, 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 and they can't say enough good things about him and that. Will they take him back? Yes or no?
I think anyone would take Billy back. Yeah, I think absolutely anyone would take Billy back. But the question is, does Billy want to come back after this?
If they took Billy back, would they put him in there with Liam Williams?
Absolutely. Billy will control what he wants. He will get what he wants. You know, people know who Billy is now. Let's face it. People know who he is. Say his box office.
What do you think to Chris? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
What do you think to Christopher Eubank Jr.'s tweets and videos after the fight?
That was cheap. That was cheap. Very cheap. No need for that.
Yeah.
No need for that. And that's the reason why he's so hated. I just felt there was no need for that. You know, one thing is, you know, you're fighting men, and another thing is, you know, you want him to be able to go home and see his family, go, you know, see his kids, just like every one of us do. We will go to work, want to go home and see our family. Same thing.
Yeah. Okay then. Conor Benn could be headlining for the vacant EBU belt versus TBA on DAZN's first UK show, July 31st. What do you think to that? Conor Benn as a headline, DAZN UK?
Headline. It should be a good fight. It should be a good fight. It might be a good test for Conor Benn because, again, he's been talking too much. So we're gonna see what he's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a good test. He needs this test.
Yeah. Okay. In 2016, the WBA put a statement out saying that they wanted to sort the situation out with the belts. Now, since then, they've added more champions to the 17 weight divisions. And at the moment, out of the big four belts, the WBC, the WBA, which we're talking about now, the IBF and the IBO. Now, the WBC, the WBO, and the IBF, sorry, them three, the main three, the other three, they've now got 54.16% champions. The WBA have 45.84% champions. So they, instead of having 25%, because it's a quarter in it, they've got 45.84% of champions. Have the WBA become too greedy and too in everybody's pockets, mainly promoters? And is it now beyond a joke for them to control 45.84% of world champions when really it should be 25%? They've got nearly double, haven't they, the champions that they should have? Is that being greedy, and are they making a mockery of the situation? And are they now the worst organisation out of the big four?
Absolutely, they've lost credibility. You know, they've lost credibility over the years. It keeps getting worse. Now let's give it another 5 years. What's that amount going to be?
Oh, it could be half. It could be more.
It's like there's no benchmark. Yeah. Everyone now is just doing what they want to do. This one is doing what he wants. This one is doing just because of the love of greed. It's greed. It's greed. That's why it's not. And again, that's what's destroying boxing. I don't know how this is going to change, but it's getting worse.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about the situation with Floyd Mayweather and one of the Paul brothers? I get them mixed up. I get them mixed up. Is it Jake Paul? Logan Paul. That's it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that situation?
Yeah, it's just payday. Mayweather just needs. It's money for him. Well, how much is he going to make? 80 million or something like that? Something stupid, or 50 million?
I don't know.
It's just like sparring for him. It's not looking good. You're right. It's again, everything is just a complete mess. Don't get me wrong. If someone offered me that money, I'll take it. But someone like Mayweather, you know, it's payday now for Mayweather, but you know, it's just a joke. I'd rather see something like Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, maybe Mayweather and Shane Mosley or someone, that he's fought in the past than this YouTuber.
Mm.
It's just a complete joke. And they just disrespected him over the ball last week, took his hat and just taking the piss out of him.
Yeah, it's not good. Uh, what do you think about the rumours that Tyson Fury could be fighting in July or August against Deontay Wilder to put it to bed once and for all?
Um, I won't rule it out because that's still lingering underneath. I
Yeah,
won't rule it out. And he's a bad smell that doesn't want to go away. And I'll tell you what, though, he's working hard behind the scenes.
yeah, he is. Yeah,
I'm telling you that now. He's working very hard behind the scenes. And if Tyson Fury makes that mistake of underestimating him, he will be in the he will be in for a big surprise. Put it that way.
what do you think about Tyson Fury partying with Adrian Broner after the fight the other night in Miami? Private
Was
jet
it
to
before?
Miami.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Party in the
Yeah,
city when the
Tyson.
heat is on all night on the beach to the break of dawn. We're going to
Uh,
Miami.
Miami, welcome to my. I think Fury Tyson's just having a good time, but you're right. That fight could be on in July or August, but Wilder's preparing for something,
Yeah,
and he's not going away.
yeah.
What do you think?
I think that Tyson shouldn't be partying if he's supposed to be in camp. But Tyson does what he wants to do, doesn't he? You see, the thing is, when you've not got a regimented trainer, the tail's wagging the
Mm,
dog. And I think this is what caught up with Billy Joe Saunders. Since he
mm,
beat Andy Lee when he had Jimmy Tibbs with him, since then, he's just picked and choose do his work with and done what the hell he wanted. And I think that's happened with Tyson. But I think with Tyson, I think he's got a bit more in his locker than Billy.
yeah,
And he's got
yeah,
that long range and he's hard to
yeah,
get to and he can get away with it, but eventually it catches up with you.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. Eventually, it catches up to you, and he does because your feet starts getting slow. You start becoming stationary.
Yeah.
You're a target now. You can't move. It happens to all of them.
We all
Happens to
remember we all remember what happened to Larry Holmes when he was inactive and then they brought him back to
yeah.
fight Mike Tyson. We know what happened there, don't
Mm,
we?
mm, yeah.
Uh, what do you think about Natasha Jonas at the moment? She seems to be very popular in the public eye, doesn't she? She's got a regular gig on Sky. She's in everybody's heart. She's a nice looking lass
Mm.
as well. Do you think she's going to be gifted a world title soon at some point, against the school dinner lady like the rest of them?
Absolutely. She's there's a lot of awareness on her now, making her into a brand. So definitely you could tell that's in the pipeline. There's a lot of big moves for her in the pipeline. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
What do you think about PEDs in the sport of boxing? Do you feel that there's PED tests going on? Because we haven't had one person fail a test now for the longest period ever. Do you think tests are happening in the pandemic or are they
No,
not? Are they not
no.
happening?
They're not, yeah. Well the thing is, yeah, you're right, it's been very quiet. It's not yeah,
Very quiet.
everyone's turned a blind eye to it. But
Hmm.
of course it's happening heavily, but pandemic is the excuse. But yeah, there's so much nonsense that's going on in boxing.
Canelo Alvarez, he looks like a little monster, doesn't he, at 12 stone?
It does. It
5 foot
does.
nine, 5 foot nine, 12 stone. He's a monster, isn't he?
Mm, mm.
What
Were
do you
you
think?
suggesting that absolutely it hasn't, I mean, there's that rumors and that speculation.
Listen, mate.
And
Rumours, you know what? Rumour is a pipe blown by surmisers, jealousies, and conjectures. People are either surmising, they're jealous, or they're conjecturing rubbish. But he's got form,
no
hasn't he?
smoke without fire.
He's got form. He's got form, Canelo, for it. But if he did fail a test, would we even hear about it with Eddie Hills as his promoter?
Mm,
I don't think we
that's
would.
true. No, you're right. Because there's no smoke without fire. There's been things said, but you're right. He's so unbreakable. He just looks like you can't break him,
Yeah.
and it looks like there's more to it. I don't know if yeah, it just looks like there's more to it. He wasn't
Yeah.
even phased that night. He wasn't even phased at all.
No, I
Took all the
won't.
punches and he just came forward, just kept marching forward.
Yeah.
Billy Joel was timid a little bit,
Yeah.
and when Canelo hit, you could tell there was so much power behind it.
What I'm going to say now might upset a few people, especially if they're Billy Joe fans, but I don't care. In my opinion, I gave him round one and round five, and he tried to shoe shine his way to a points loss. That's what I felt. He tried to shoe shine his way. There were no mustard on his shots, and he was
Mm,
slow with his footwork. When Canelo put it on him, he was in trouble every time, and it was only a matter of time before he
mm.
lowered the boom, Canelo, and eventually he did, didn't he? End of round eight, or a minute to go, he caught him, and Billy went on back foot, and then we know what happened after that. But I'm not going to say it is what it is because I think that's a cliche. It takes guts to get in there, but when you're getting millions of pounds, don't take the guts really. You're not going to get in there for free, is it? Because it's called prize fighting, and you've got to fight
Mm.
for a prize. But do you feel that Billy's career, the glasses are full?
I think it might be. It might be. When you go through a dip like this, that's gonna question everything, and you're gonna have time to reflect on things. I'm telling you, he's gonna be a changed man when it comes. It's gonna humble him because
Yeah,
I'm telling you, we're all humans. It doesn't matter how strong, how we're all humans, and things like this lonely road that he's gonna go through will humble him. Be a
yeah,
changed man. He will see things different. Some of the childish things that he might have said in the past. It will reflect on a lot of things.
yeah,
When you're saying, "Oh," it's easy for people to make statements. Oh, you have to kill me in the ring. You have to. Now, you can't be saying that. You got kids. You got family.
mm.
It's easy to say those things. But you got kids. You got family.
Uh,
So
yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah,
it's
Fernando.
gonna question.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, go. No, I said yeah. When he comes back, it's. I'm not convinced that he's gonna. I think he might take one or two fights and they'll knock you on the head. That's what
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Fernando Vargas has come out and he's done a piece in the Daily Mail, and he's been
Hmm.
very critical of Billy, saying that he quit. Derek James, who trains Errol Spence, said that he quit. Do you agree with those people?
No, I don't agree. I don't agree that he quit. What do you want? But he can't see. The eye socket is broken. And he can't see. I think it was same thing that happened to Harry Cooper when he fought Ali. I think his eye socket got broken. You can't see. I don't think he quit. I just think you can't. You're going with a killer. He's not. Canelo is just not an ordinary fighter. He's a killer.
Yeah,
He smells blood. He will clean you up like a piranha that smells blood. He will
yeah.
finish you up. So if you was in his corner, what would you do?
I would have said, "Are you all right?" Right, and Billy's turned around, and Mark Tibbs said, "Well, Billy's gone and sat down." He said, "I can't see out my eye." Mark Tibbs has said, "Can you do another round?" And then we don't get to it. Nobody said what Billy said, but if Billy's not answered him or put his head down because there are no microphones there, Mark Tibbs
Uh-huh.
has then come out and said he didn't like the response, so he pulled the
Uh-huh.
fight. But now they're saying that Ben Davison pulled it. Did he say something from behind the stool or something? We don't know.
Mm,
But he had plenty to say in the rounds, Ben Davison, didn't he? Because he was doing a lot of
mm,
talking, wasn't he? Being very
mm,
busy. So I
mm,
don't know. It's a mystery, but all three of them are in the dock on social media, and one of them has got to come out and say, "I stopped the fight." But we didn't see any protests from Billy. But if I were the trainer
mm.
and he were being like that, I would have done the same thing to protect the fighter
Fighter, yeah.
for another day. But there's no protesting from Billy. So in my opinion, that's a quit. If it had been anybody else, it would have been a quit. Now we've got lists of names here that said DeBar
Mm,
quit.
mm,
But
mm, mm.
they're saying
I
Billy
get your
didn't
argument.
Billy didn't quit. Is that because Billy's MTK? Or because he's a traveller? We don't know, but everybody's got their own agendas, and I can understand that because they make a living out of the sport of boxing. But don't come out and say anything if you want to not get pulled. The others, the list here, you know, your Macklins, your Tyson Fury, Bellew, Spencer, Oliver Barker, Ben Davison, Michelle Phelps, Johnny Nelson, Tom Little, they've all said nothing because probably in their hearts they know what's going on, so they don't want to add fire to it. But if they were adamant it weren't a quit, they'd have come out. But the cost
I agree with you.
The fact they've not come out,
yeah.
But yet, as far as I'm concerned, and I'll be on this all week, you can't shoot your mouths off about one person, not the other. So let's be transparent in the sport of boxing. Yeah, I get death threats. Yeah, I've had my cars damaged, tyres done, all sorts. Constantly. Fallouts with people who are mates and that over it. I love boxing that much. It will always be in my heart. But I'm not going to let this go. People want to come here and cause me problems. Roll the dice. But I am not bothered. That's how much I love boxing. But I won't be bullied. Some of these on here are my mates who've said what they've said. Some are not my mates and some are bullies. Some are arse lickers. Some are just networkers. But I don't care about them. I care about what's right for the sport of boxing. That's what I care about. And I like to see fair play. I love fair play when it's fair. Now, this ain't right. So that's just my opinion. You reckon he don't quit? That's your opinion. I don't agree. I don't agree. I've seen a lot worse. Look at Denis Lebedev. You remember Denis Lebedev, don't we, against that Guillermo with Jones? Yeah. We saw that, didn't we? That were a hematola, eye socket, cheekbone, the lot, wasn't it? Brain damage and everything, wasn't it? He was going for another 8 rounds. He never quit, did he? He never quit. He never jacked. His corner didn't pull him out. Maybe we don't want to see it that bad, but after all the big chat from Billy, but after Dubois, he's going to cop it, innit? If you put yourself out on social media, like Dave Caldwell said, you're going to cop it. Now, if that isn't a quit, what is a quit? Because he didn't protest that corner pulling him, right? He said he couldn't see out his eye. He never answered back what was said. He weren't responsive. That, to me, is a quit, looking for a way out. He'd never been in a firefight in his life. He's supposed to be a firefighter, and when there's a fire, you put it out. He didn't put the fire out. You've got to bite down on your gum shield and ride it through. All the people coming out going on about injuries and could have lost his eye, this and that. Fair enough. But he didn't try, in my opinion. He didn't try to ride it out. First sign of any problems, he was out of there. Now, that's harsh from a non-fighter like me, armchair critic. Call it what you want. But I know what comments come through and what percentages are on my channel, what I've said, and what Ultra Tech Boxing said. And I look at it and I think, well, public opinion says he quit. But there's a narrative of people trying to put it out there that he didn't quit. You won't see a video on IFL with somebody saying, well, I thought he quit. They won't put it out because they're controlling the narrative. And I'm against that. I'm against that. People have got a problem with that. Tough. Hard cheese. It'll blow over in a week. But you have to expect, if you put yourself out there as a roadman killer and a warrior, if you've got eye sockets, cheekbones, jaws, broken arms, you've got to be knocked out. He didn't. He sat on there and he said, I can't see out my eye. That were it. That's the bottom line. There were no protesting and there were tears after, which is sad to see. They're the facts. They are facts. It's in front of my eyeballs and yours. But if you think he didn't quit, that's your opinion. Boxing's subjective, isn't it? We all have difference of opinions.
Absolutely. No, you're right, though. What's his name? Spencer Farr and all those guys are not consistent. They're not consistent.
Look,
if you could say,
if
you could say one thing about Dubois, you should be able to carry that same energy with Billy.
Do you know why Spencer Phelan can't get his head any farther up MTK's arsehole? Because Ben Davidson's already stuck up there. That's the bottom line. People are going to go into bat for the mates and not tell it straight. That's what's going to happen. You've seen it with Tunde Ajayi. We know what he said. Spencer Phelan, totally different. they're looking for ways out because it's their bread and butter. Whatever happened to people having an opinion? Oh my God. Whatever happened to people having an opinion? They daren't say it. I know people in Sheffield who are saying certain things, but they're not saying it on the social media, but they're whispering like that to people behind the scenes. And then some of them are coming out on social media and saying the opposite. I won't speak to them people ever again. They are hula hoopers.
No, absolutely. No, I totally agree with you. I think, yeah, those guys are just not consistent.
No, not at all. So,
you know, and that's how boxing is shaping now.
Yeah, well, you better believe it, kid. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. And people say, "Why are you doing this, Porky? Why are you doing this?" Well, I've given up a lot to do this, as you know. I've given up a lot to do this, and I will see it through. But I'm hoping to change all that. I'm hoping, and I'm a trier. And let me tell you this: I haven't failed at anything I've ever done yet. So I'm going to see this through to end. So it is what it isn't, but that's just my opinion.
No, it's good that it's good that you're doing what you're doing, because the way boxing is shaping now, and with all this there's so much politics, a lot more politics. I mean, there's always been politics, but you look at the 60s, 70s, those were real men. Now you get a lot of wannabes now, that want to muscle in on the money. And I'm not saying don't make money and don't do whatever you got to do, but it's just getting watered down as the year goes on, and it's just getting worse. Where you getting calls?
Yeah, it's that same one as the other day.
Losers. But yeah, it's just getting worse. Yeah. It's just getting worse. And I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing, because the more we have people like you, the better, because people do watch your show. Yeah, a lot of people do listen to you, to do watch your stuff, watch your podcast, and a lot of the people that you mention do watch it, so they know what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I try my best. I try to keep it real. If anybody's offended, I don't really care. Switch on to another channel. Go watch IFL. Go watch all propaganda on there. I don't care what people think. I'm not in this to make mates. If I make mates along the way, fair enough. If not, well, that's just life, innit? You know what I mean? So it's one of the things.
But the annoying thing is, boxing is all about opinion.
Yeah, it's subjective. It's
very subjective. It's when people want to take it personal, it becomes a problem. When I say personal, when they want to damage your car, when they want to do something.
Oh God, fly tipping on my drive at my old house.
That's when it gets small-minded. There's no need for that.
Listen, mate. Cars insured, houses insured.
We could agree to disagree. I can see where you're coming from. Doesn't mean I agree with what you're saying, but I can understand where you're coming from.
I know.
Do you know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But it's just sad the way boxing is shaping now, and just again, he's got all those little guys working for him.
Yeah. Well, that's how it goes, isn't it? Eddie's trying to be Dana White. That's what he's trying to be, Dana White. But it is what it isn't. So, okie dokie then. We've had a good chat. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me.
I think we'll put this on YouTube and not put it on Menmos. We'll let everybody see it. We're going to go full steam ahead this week. It's a big trending story. I hope everybody's enjoyed the video, but if you haven't, I don't care. So leave a comment, like or dislike. I don't care. Well, I'd like you to leave a comment. Tell me your true feelings. If you hate me and you hate what I'm putting out, I hate you, Porky. I hate what you're putting out. If you like it, say you like it. But either way, you're watching. All right, John. You take care.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, John. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.
That were Big John, as the ladies call him down London. I don't know why, but he's a nice guy, good boxing guy. very conservative in his answers. He didn't put himself out there. Well, I ain't got a problem with that. Everybody's different, aren't they? He's very respectful, and I wish him all the best. He's been on before, and he's a good contributor to the channel. So, all right. So, bit of training now, and then a bit of lunch. All right. So, big shout out to my mate Frank in Bury and Dave, and big shout out to Joe Gallagher. I hope you're doing well, Joe Gallagher. All right. Peace out.